Minimalism can help us to save time, money, and energy by focusing on what's important to us and saying no to things that are not. And one of the ways that minimalism has really helped me is that it helped me to become a more confident person, and that in turn has really influenced my buying habits when it comes to everything related to beauty, fashion, and looks in general. Here are 20 things I don't buy anymore for my looks ever since adopting a more minimalist, intentional lifestyle. Before we begin, I want to make it super clear that this list is personal to me, and I stopped buying them because I don't think that they provide me any real value. But there's nothing necessarily wrong with these things, or I know maybe some of them. But I don't want anyone watching this video to feel bad. If you do enjoy buying some of these things, then that is absolutely fine. And today's video has a sponsor, Zuvi Halo, and I'll chat more about them later. Number 1 is pantyhose. This might be a random one to start with, but the reason that I used to buy pantyhose is that I was very insecure about my legs, and especially the fact that I have very pale skin, and people would always comment on how pale my legs are. My legs are even more pale than like my arms or my face. And I just had so many insecurities around my legs. I thought I had weird knees and everything. So I was basically scared to go out of the house wearing like a skirt or a dress if I wasn't wearing pantyhose. And it even got so far as that I kept wearing pantyhose even in the summertime. If it's super hot and I was wearing like shorts or something, I would always also wear pantyhose underneath. The thing about summer is that it can really spark a lot of insecurities with many people, and myself included, when I was younger, about our body and, you know, the fact that you are showing a bit more in the summertime when it's hot. And therefore summertimes, well, one of the reasons that summertimes were always a bit stressful for me, because I felt like I had to cover up or hide certain things that I thought, you know, everyone was looking at. Spoiler alert, they're not. No one is as interested in how you look as you. And once I just got a bit older, I just got over most of these insecurities, and I really figured like life is too short to cover up and feel like hot and miserable because I'm wearing pantyhose in the summer, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. Number 2, that's kind of related to this, is that I also stopped buying any self-tan products or, you know, going tanning in general. People have always commented in my real life about how pale I am, especially in the summer, but throughout the year, saying that, oh, you need to get some color, you need to go tanning, or maybe you know, did you know about self-tanning stuff and get some color on you. However, the difference is that I stopped caring about this, and I really embraced and accepted the fact that I don't get a tan no matter how much I try. Self-tanning stuff is also really annoying. It gets on your clothes, it gets on your couch. It's just so much hassle that we really don't need in life if we can just accept how we look, and that is what I luckily did. Number 3 is cheap jewelry. I used to be a sucker for those cheap necklaces and bracelets and all kinds of cute like earrings and stuff, and I had quite a collection of that. Cheap jewelry does not last. Do I need to say more? I think it's better, if you do like jewelry, to invest in some higher quality pieces that you really like and just keep wearing those, and that's what I did. Next is a category of makeup, and I could have easily just done a list of all kinds of different makeup items that I don't buy, but I thought that would make the video a little annoying to watch. So I just kind of lumped them all together into one. Basically, the category is makeup items that I don't really feel like I need. So, you know, having a bunch of different eyeshadow palettes. I used to have like all kinds of different palettes that I was not using up. Also things like body shimmer, primer, setting spray, bronzers, blushers, highlighters, contouring stuff. I really don't buy any of that anymore. I still enjoy wearing makeup, and I have a whole dedicated video where I show exactly what I do for my makeup and my hair and all that stuff. So I will leave that in the description box for you, and it has become a lot more minimal and a lot more affordable. It also saves me time in the morning because it takes like 10-15 minutes. So I'm very happy with my more simple minimalist makeup routine. Next is quite embarrassing: bra stuffings. So when I was younger, I had quite a lot of insecurities about my body, and one of the things that I was very insecure about was my small boobs, and what I started doing was stuffing my bra. So I had these like plastic squishy things that kind of look like, you know, chicken cutlets, and I put them in my bra, and The thing with stuffing your bra is if you do it, for example, when you go to work, after a while, it kind of becomes a little bit hard to stop because it was a noticeable change. And so if you suddenly just stop wearing them, everyone is going to see it and probably know that that is what you've been doing up till that point. So it became a little difficult for me after a while when I just really started to accept my body the way that it is and actually really love how I look now. So I kind of just phased it out, and now I stopped wearing like super padded bras or stuffing my bras or anything like that. Next is any hair tools that damage my hair. I've talked about this before, about how I started to embrace my natural hair more, and I got rid of my blow dryer, I got rid of my hair straightener, and I had a lot of heat damage on my hair a couple years ago. And especially getting rid of my hair straightener, that felt so good. It was one of my favorite decluttering moments in my whole minimalism journey because I could never get my hair to actually stay straight. As soon as I left the house, it just exploded into this big poof ball. That's because I don't have straight hair. So I am very happy that I eventually learned how to take better care of my hair. And this is also where I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, which is the Zuvi Halo. I've been using this hairdryer for a couple of weeks now, and I'm very impressed. I'm used to air drying my hair because I don't want to use heat on it, but this one doesn't use heat. It uses light care technology and high-speed air to kind of mimic how the sun and the wind would dry your hair if you went out just naturally. So because of this technology, it only dries your hair on the outside, but it leaves the water inside your hair intact. That's great because my hair still feels soft and healthy. There's no dryness, there's no frizziness, and it cuts my drying time way down. And that's the biggest thing for me because air drying takes a long time, from like 3 to 6 hours, which is a little annoying and impractical sometimes. So with this, I don't dry it like 100% dry, I dry it like almost all the way. And that's why my hair dries after like 15-20 minutes, and that is so nice. I've learned that when your hair is wet, it's actually like at its weakest and most fragile, and now it dries in no time. And I've been practicing with using this diffuser on my hair. I still need a bit more practice, I think, but I'm already starting to notice that it really helps with the curl definition. As someone who is sensitive to sound, I also just appreciate that it is not so loud, so I can hold it really close to my head and it doesn't hurt my ears, it doesn't feel hot on my scalp, it's also not heavy, so it's just really easy to use, and it takes 60% less energy than traditional hair dryers. It comes with a few different attachments that snap into place with magnets, by the way, which I really like. It's the little things. So I have a link and discount code for you in the description box if you want to try one for yourself. Big thanks to Zuvi. Let's get back to the video. Intimate feminine hygiene products. This is something that I've actually never bought in my life, but I did want to include it in a video just to let you know that you don't need any of these products unless your doctor recommends like something specific for you. That is a different story, of course. But otherwise, your body down there, I'm a little scared to use the V word because I don't know if I'm allowed to do that on YouTube or if the video will get flagged or anything. But your body cleans itself down there and you don't need any of these like perfumes and products and any of that stuff. Scarves. I have one scarf and that's it. I kind of just stopped buying them because I was buying them up the wazoo. I don't remember how long I've had this scarf. I think it's around like 4 years or something. I remember at one time I made a video about things I only own one of, and that scarf was in that video, and I'm still using it to this day. Single-use face masks. This is one of those products that I think teen girls love to buy. I was buying them too all the time as kind of like this pamper moment, but you know, they just don't really do anything for my skin. It also creates unnecessary waste. If you do like to use a face mask, I think it's better to use one that like comes in a bottle or something and it's not like a sheet or something, unless that really works for you, of course, then it's a different story. But I just kind of stopped buying all of these face masks and these single-use like things on your face. Another thing I stopped buying was luxury brand items. I wasn't necessarily buying them that often, but I was saving for them, and every once in a while I got something like that and I was wanting to buy them a lot. So I'm talking like, I don't know, Chanel wallets or something. I think there is a really good middle ground where you can buy something that is high quality and still relatively affordable. When it comes to these luxury brands, I only wanted to buy them to impress others, which makes absolutely no sense. And now whenever I see someone in a Dior store or something, I can't help but think that this person might just really like burning their money on unnecessary things. I've learned that buying these things did not make me happier or more confident one bit. Number 11, silly slippers. I don't know if they have these where you live, but here in the Netherlands, whenever winter comes around, you can start to see all of these like funny slippers in the stores that are shaped like a bear or an emoji or, you know, something cute. And I love cute things. I also love slippers, so I used to buy these things a lot. The story is just that they are very low quality. They will only last you one winter, if that. So now I like to buy higher quality slippers, just one pair that will get me through a couple of winters at least. Sexy underwear that is extremely uncomfortable. And I'm talking about underwear for like daily use. I personally just don't want to feel uncomfortable every day, the whole day. Of course, you want your underwear to, you know, fit well and be like clean and not have holes and things like that. But I also just want to be comfortable. So I do have some more like va-va-voom things for special occasions. But like for everyday use, I mostly just want to feel comfortable. Number 13, correction shapewear underwear. Again, if you do enjoy buying these things, then that is absolutely fine. It's just a very personal decision that I made to not buy these things anymore. I used to have a few really tight-fitting dresses and I felt very self-conscious in these dresses. So I thought, okay, I'll buy shapewear. And I would put them on and it was so tight that it was hard to breathe, and then I could, wear those like really tight-fitting dresses and feel confident in them. So it just dawned on me that I am wearing something that is uncomfortable and is hard to breathe in, so that I can wear something that is really tight and makes me feel self-conscious. Basically I stopped wearing both and I only wear clothing that I feel good in and I don't need to wear something like really tight underneath. Number 14, I stopped coloring my hair. If you've been around for a while, you may remember that my hair used to be a lot lighter. You can still kind of see it here, although my hairdresser also says that this is from the sun, which I'm not sure about. But it used to be like this color and now it's this color. I love this mostly because now if I get a haircut and I go to the salon, I am in and out the door in 20 minutes instead of like 2 hours. And that saves so much money, it saves so much time, and it's so much better for my hair. Number 15, high heels or just uncomfortable shoes. And a lot of these I think have to do with identity and who you think you are. So I used to, when I was younger, think that, I am someone who wears heels and I could wear them. It wasn't hard for me to walk in heels necessarily, but I was always in pain. I would twist my ankles. I even broke my pinky once because I fell down because my heel got caught on my bike. Eventually I decluttered all of my heels one by one and I only wear sneakers now, or flats, or my vegan Doc Martens, which I still have, and that's it. I have very much gone from a always wearing heels girl to an always wearing sneakers girl, but I just think that life is too short to be in pain every time you walk. I love walking, I love taking care of my feet, so no more heels for me, even though I still kind of think that they are very pretty. Lip gloss. I used to always wear lip gloss and now I really cannot imagine even wearing lip gloss anymore because it's really annoying when you go out and it's windy and your hair gets kind of stuck in your sticky lip gloss. I also don't like eating out, for example, wearing something on my lips because it gets on your glass, it gets on the food, and then you have to excuse yourself to go to the bathroom and touch up your lipstick or lip gloss and things like that. It's just something that I kind of wanted to stop worrying about. So I only wear lip balm, and then every once in a while, like now, I'll put a little bit of lipstick over that lip balm to give my lips a bit more color, but that's it. Number 17, clothing items that need to be hand washed or crinkle a lot. This one is huge because I love knits. I love anything having to do with knitwear. I think it's so pretty and comfortable and I really like it. Obviously not wool because I'm vegan, but you know. And I remember spending so much time hand washing some of these knitwear items that I had, which was so annoying because you also cannot really rinse them out. So they take like days to dry. They need to dry flat, so I can't line dry anything else, and it's just a whole thing. I also decluttered my iron and ironing board. So now whenever I buy new clothing items, I only buy them if I can just chuck them in the washing machine and hang them up to dry. And anything more high maintenance than that, I personally don't feel like it is worth my time or energy anymore. Number 18, clothing online. Maybe for you it's different, but I have a very hard time finding clothing items that fit me. And sometimes I'm wearing like a small and that fits perfectly, and sometimes I'm wearing a large and that fits perfectly. So I kind of stopped buying clothing items online because I know for myself that if I buy something online, I am going to be highly likely to be too lazy to return it if it doesn't fit, and I also know that I won't wear it if I feel like it doesn't really fit me perfectly. So eventually I just made a rule for myself to only buy clothing items actual in the stores so I can try them on and make sure they fit, because it's just such a waste to spend your money on clothing items that, you know, take up resources to make and then you won't wear them and, you know, donate them after a while. Number 19, purses, also up the wazoo. I remember I was a huge fan of the OC when I was younger. Also Dawson's Creek. Anyway, Misha Barton, the one who played Marissa, had her own purse line, and I was cuckoo for coconuts for that purse line. I bought quite a few. Apart from the fact that I don't feel like I need all of these purses, it was also a little bit annoying because every time you pick an outfit, you also have to pick your purse, and then there are certain things that I just keep in my purse, like that is where they always are, and then I have to like move them from purse to purse or buy one of those like inside purses that you can move your stuff around, and then I would forget my OV chip card because it was in another purse and stuff like that. So I'm very happy that I don't have a ton of different purses anymore. And number 20, getting my nails done. Now I have to say I still love the look of like long gel nails. I think that it just looks very pretty, and I've always felt, I don't know, complete or something when my nails were done perfectly. For the last couple of years I've been keeping it super simple, and I realized that I love that even more. I spend about like 10 minutes on my nails every like, I don't know, 5 days or so, and I just file them short and I do like a clear coat. Sometimes I'll use nail polish, but other than that, I feel like going to the salon every 3 weeks to get your nails done was just becoming too much work. It was taking up too much of my time. It was also quite expensive, and I'm the type of person, I really don't like having steady things in my calendar that I have to do every like 3 weeks or so. So you know, whenever things like this happen, I really get very critical to think like, do I really want to have to go somewhere every 3 weeks and spend like an hour there and pay money for that, if I can also just do it myself and keep it really simple? It's funny because when it comes to minimalism and finding confidence, like confidence from within, instead of focusing so much on your looks or your insecurities, for me, it's kind of like the story of which came first, the chicken or the egg. I used to shop for the very things on this list a lot, and that was because I was so insecure. But buying all of these things never did anything to help me feel more confident. It was only when I stopped buying them all and started focusing on other things than my looks and my insecurities that I slowly started to feel better about myself. However, it was also because I was starting to feel more confident that I was buying these things less and less, because I learned that I can just let go of my insecurities and not focus on them so much, and I didn't feel like I had so many things that I needed to hide or cover up or fix anymore. So it's funny that when it comes to confidence and our buying habits, I feel like they influence each other both ways. And of course, it's not like I always feel confident now or that I never have insecurities. It's just that I've learned to not focus on them so much because I know that there are more important things in life. So let me know your thoughts on this, because I'm very curious to know. And of course, if there's anything that you no longer buy for for your looks, please share that down below as well, because I would love to read all of your stories. Feel free to check out the Zuvi Halo link and discount code in the description box. Thank you so much for being here. As always, questions, comments, conversations down below. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all again soon. Bye bye. If you're curious, I made a whole video about my makeup routine, hair care routine, skincare routine, and all of that stuff in detail, so I will leave it right here for you and in the description box.